Hello and welcome to Kelly Legends Media. Okay, I'm going to get straight into this video. That don't feel right. So let me start off by thanking my subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you for watching, for getting busy in the comment section, and for hitting those likes. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for subscribing. We had an influx of subscribers, and I really appreciate it very, very much. It's going to really help us out reaching that goal of 10,000 by the end of the year. Okay, so this situation began a couple of years ago when it took place. Okay, but yesterday my wife and I went to Azteca Burritos. Okay, near Atlantic Boulevard in Beverly, where the McDonald's is. If you haven't been there, go visit the place, man. Their burritos are bomb. There's been a few food reviews on the place. Excellent burritos. I got me a chili relleno and a carne asada burrito. Fire. Okay. I think that's the first time I used that word like that. But yeah, it was. Anyways, so I'm backed into the stall. And look, I'm going to change this story up, okay? Because it involves people who are still alive and still dealing with this situation, okay? And it ended up being very serious. And somebody caught a lot of time, like over 60 years behind this situation. So let me get to it. A car was backing in and the driver pointed at me, you know. So when he pointed, I just, went like, hey, like, what's up, And he rolled down his window and he goes, hey, you're Lucky from Kelly Legends? And I go, yeah. He says, hey, can I ask you a question? I go, yeah, what's up? He goes, well, wait, let me get off. So I'm thinking, oh man, here we go. So dude gets off the car and he walks over, right? And he's with his son, his young son, who stood a little bit away from us, And he walks over and he's like, hey, do you know the homeboy Blanco? Okay, I'm going to call him Blanco, okay? You know homeboy Blanco? And I go, yeah, I know him. And after he goes, all right, yeah, well, he's related to so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. And I'm like tied in there somewhere, somehow in the family, right? I'm like, all right, cool. And I go, yeah, that's messed up what happened with him, He ended up getting a lot of time. He goes, yeah, man, poor dude, he's going to be an old man when he gets out. Blanco's a very healthy, strong, aggressive individual. He don't play. Anyway, so he says, yeah, well, sometimes I talk to him and, he's still the same, man. He talks the same, has the same attitudes and stuff. I go, yeah, well, that's been in him all his life. And he tells me, he goes, yeah, he says, he grew up around a lot of violence, a lot of things happening in his household and stuff. So, and I told him, I go, well, that's usually where it starts, in the home, and then, you start hanging around out in the street just to get away from the madness of the pad, take a break from all that noise, and you get caught up in something else. And I think that's what happened to Blanco, and he goes, yeah, he wanted me to get in the neighborhood. He was always talking to me about getting in the neighborhood. He goes, I was going to get into this other barrio, but then the homeboy Kisbit. I go, yeah, I know Kisbit. He goes, well, he kept always telling me to get into Mariana, that I better not get into any other barrio. That if you get in a barrio, you better get into our barrio, and this and that and the other, right? And I go, so what barrio did you get into? He says, I didn't. He says, I'm not from nowhere. Then his son walked up. He goes, oh, I want to introduce you to my son. He graduated from this college and this and that, and he's doing these things, to get his career rolling and stuff. And it was impressive what the young man was doing, you know. So I congratulated his son, and I told him, I go, hey, I was supposed to go to court for Blanco, but you know what? I couldn't do it. You know, there's rules to the game, you know, and I wanted to because the situation that happened was all wrong. All I had to do was go and say that it, you know, just all I had to do was say, yeah, we drove from here to there, and she didn't have a license to drive. That's it. Just one little thing to clear Blanco from this case, you know. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't go on the stand and testify against another person regarding anything, you know. And this woman that was involved with this case, you know, she was wrong for doing what she did and calling the police and pushing the issue. And she even said, yeah, he's going to do life in prison. I don't give an F, this and that. And the worst part about it is that she was from Maravilla, you know. So that really fucking, you know, that was the you know, people say, yeah, your own homeboys will turn on you. You know, your own homeboys. I didn't turn on my homeboy. I told him I'd go to court for him, but after thinking it all over and talking to other people, you know, it was clear as day I couldn't do it, you know. And I know that Blanco felt betrayed. You know, he did. He felt like, what happened? You know, even his attorney was calling me, hey, what happened? How come he didn't show up? We scheduled for this day. You know, all you got to say is this. We just got to clarify this one issue, and that's it. He'll get out, you know. Fuck, man. You know, but I couldn't get on the stand and testify against another person. You know what I mean? So I had to bite my tongue. Blanco got over 60 years, and he's already, I think, in his 40s. You know, so that old, 100 years old when he paroles. Yeah, they gave him life. You know, and it's a bad thing. It wasn't that serious, you know, for him to get that many years. But the girl made it serious like that, you know. Needless to say, she's no good anymore. But what good is that? He's his whole life is shot to hell, you know. Anyways, this was at an occasion where nothing like this should have happened. You know what I mean? We were there celebrating, you know, this person's life and stuff. And, you know, this whole situation went down, you know. But anyways, people, be careful, man. Be careful, because you don't know how far a person will go, you know, and be solid as fuck one day, and then the next day not be. You know, like a lot of people on YouTube say, yeah, you're good until you're not anymore. You know what I mean? You know, you're solid till you're not. You know, so be careful. You know, sometimes we think we know somebody, and you really don't know that person, you know, and this is how you find out who a person is and how they are. So be careful what you do, who you do it with, who's around when you do it, and stay out of them courts, man, because, you know, I know by experience, if a DA wants you and he wants you in, he's gonna say and do what he has to do to put you in there, even lie. I know this for a fact. And so will the sheriffs, so will detectives, and so will individuals like your homeboys and homegirls when it suits their situation. You know what I mean? You know, rather than keeping their mouth shut and accepting their life sentence, which they deserve, they'll turn around and make a deal to get out and blame it on the next person. And you might end up being that person one day. Because I know a lot of homies that are in there because of people opening their mouths, saying things they're not supposed to be saying or shouldn't be saying. you know. And it's a terrible thing, but it's the way of the jungle, man. It's just the way things are. You know, it happens in the black community, the white community, the brown, everybody has people that may or may not just turn around and fucking open their mouths on you one day. Be careful, people. Stay free. Watch what you do and say. And, with that, God bless you. God bless your families. And stay free, people. Stay out of jail. Stay out of prison. And let's do the damn thing, man. Life can be enjoyable regardless if we have struggles or not, whether we're dealing with situations that seem impossible to fix, but at least we're out here working on it and living the life out here free, where you're able to get up, go eat what you want, uh, turn on and off your light when you want, watch whatever programs you want. Believe me, man, you learn how to appreciate things after being there a few years. You miss all the things that you lose, and you don't ever want to be found wanting like that. That being said, see you on the next video, people. Stay free.